Hello everybody, Pinstripe here. What is going on with you? I am now 30 years of age, which if we take into consideration the average lifespan of a human being, I am halfway there to death. No, but seriously though, like, turning 30, to me, it sounds very cliche, of course, but age is just a number. I think when you have the right mentality in life, when you bring the right kind of energy, you maintain that, not necessarily innocence, but that sort of young energy that you kind of have housed throughout your 20s. So looking ahead to my 30s, it's kind of more terrifying looking towards my 40s, if I'm honest. I don't know why, but 30 and moving into my 30s feels like an extension of my mid to late 20s. If I were to look back at my 20s, a lot of it was spent working, a lot of it was spent progressing in my area of expertise, be that of game development, and yeah, just primarily trying to progress that. I've been very individual within my 20s, and a section of that, like my early 20s, were of course still within university. When I graduated from university, I was 23, so it's only been the last 7 years of my life where I've actually been done with higher education, which is kind of weird to say, I guess. Just that huge chunk of your life that you spend in nursery, primary school, secondary school, college, university, masters if you continue on to that, which thankfully I didn't because I'm already indebted to student loans by probably, I think it's like 82 grand that I owe, that I don't actually have to start paying back until I earn over a certain threshold. That's currently how it is here in the UK anyway. And that goalpost is constantly changing from year to year, so not necessarily something I need to worry about, but yeah, always aware that the student loans company are lurking, so terrifying times ahead, of course, for financial commitment. So yeah, looking ahead into my 30s, now that I am 3 and 0, what do I want to achieve? What do I want to do? Well, I have plans, of course. It's always strange because I tend to compare my life now to how like my dad's life was at my age at this point. I mean, more like when he was 28, that's when I was then conceived along with my older sister. So comparing that state of being to where I'm at now, and just, I guess, life in general, right? Because everybody is so much more individual. The idea of the nuclear family and starting a family, having children now is just such a foreign concept to me, because that in itself is such a massive commitment that a child, and even a pet, becomes the entirety of your life. Your commitment to that thing, whether it be human or animal, that engulfs your life, both in terms of time, finances, energy, and I don't want that. That's not for me. Like, I don't know when it hit me. Everyone has that expectation, especially as a male human being, that there's going to come a point where life will hit you and you'll suddenly feel like, you are ready, or that you want to be a father all of a sudden. And I just don't have that kind of inkling, because I'm still in a state where I'm getting my own life together, where I'm still living and sharing a house with people. And my goals are to have my own living space, just to have a house that is mine, not necessarily bought, because getting on the housing market and actually buying a house takes way more time and financial backing, of course. But having a place to rent of my own, and then going out and traveling the world, is my next aim. So I've got a big trip to Japan planned. Of course, it's going to be constant saving for the next 3 or so years, roughly. But yeah, it's that is my outlook. That is the outreach that I have as far as my life goes. And beyond that, it is purely within my job and my day-to-day workings within game development that will continue to push me forward. So it sounds kind of boring. It is very simple, but that is my life, I guess. That is the full extent of it. And as far as video content is concerned, I'm sure that when we push into like my late 30s, I assume that might be when things start to slow down video content wise, because 40 seems to be the number for a lot of YouTubers where they don't necessarily retire, but they start to kind of reevaluate the things within their life that are most important to them. And by that point, you know, you feel like you've kind of done everything. I mean, another 10 years of YouTube and making videos sounds just bonkers to me, but I know that it is going to still be a thing for me, right? Because it's not just making videos on hogs or something purely for the enjoyment of doing it. I'm kind of documenting this knowledge. Like each video of mine, I like to think anyway, is kind of a packet of information. And it will then be the same as well if I go traveling and kind of getting more intertwined with vlogging. I hate vlogging, but it's an interesting way of documenting those kinds of trips. And I do hate it as well because obviously wherever I go, I don't want to be pointing a camera in the face of people that I'm traveling with. So to those that have come across me doing that in the past, I do apologize. But yeah, I am now 30 years of age. As far as my body is concerned, I'm actually feeling the healthiest that I've felt in a long time. Like my the end of my teens into my early 20s was the time where you kind of make all those bodily mistakes, you know, where you're experiencing new things, you're intaking things that you maybe shouldn't do. So kind of coming out of that sort of the social element of it too, you know, where everybody dissipates into their own lives, social circles become much smaller, and the time that you have to do those sorts of things that you used to do back in university or as a teenager, you don't have time for now. And it's just sort of taking stock of your body, taking stock of your health, and, you know, realizing that you are getting older. So these are things that you can't just ignore. You can't continue to chug fizzy liquid all the time and consume so much sugar and diabetes and yeah, all that sort of stuff. I mean, I thankfully don't have that. My granddad did back in the day, but that's always been something that I've been conscious of. In the past, I have had bad kidney problems because of my intake of sugar, and that was the massive wake-up call originally, because this was, again, quite a few years ago now, but I wound up in hospital, and, kidney stones are so very wonderful, but again, it's just those instances in life where you reevaluate your relationship with those kinds of substances, or in my case, food, because my appetite has always been the same, right? I have always consumed so much. Back in the day, I used to weigh 7 stone. I've always been 6'2". That's never changed. But I was very, very skinny. But I was able to eat so much, and I had such a high metabolism. I basically had an athlete's appetite, you know, where I could consume so much, but I wouldn't put on weight. And it was only then when I went to university that changed. My metabolism slowed down, and of course that just comes with age. But it is still there. I am noticing the shift that I've taken in my diet and that kind of area. I have noticed that my metabolism is still there, so I'm trying to take advantage of that to burn the fat that I do have and kind of get back to a healthy weight, which I like to think that I have done over the last 2 or so years. But yeah, that is it for me rambling. I think we can wrap this video up and maybe cry a little inside about turning 30. But if there are those of you that are watching that are in your 30s, what are the things that I need to look out for? Please let me know, because they will be very helpful pieces of advice, I'm sure. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up, and I'll catch you guys later for the next one. Peace.
Right, you putrid porker. You should be proud of your hogs. I've given you, 5 additional promotion points to decorate them with. Are you listening to a word I say? Repeat after me. Minefields are very bad things to wander into. Now, press your button and we will be the richest nation in the world. Just imagine, limitless swill supplies until the end of all time. Oh, God, don't mess it up.